leagues and 21 starts in the minors this year. The stretch. Pitch on the way to Julio. Swinging a fly ball into left center field. Varsho coming in, now going back. He is there, and he makes the catch. And there's one pitch and one away. And we are underway in one of the biggest, most important games you will ever hear, you will ever see, you will ever be a part of within listening shot of our voices in the history of the Mariners franchise. It has boiled down to this. The Mariners lead the best of 7 American League Championship Series 3-2 thanks to that thrilling night for Gino Suarez a couple of nights ago, winning back home 6-2 over the Blue Jays. Cal Raleigh the hitter, and he takes a pitch low and outside for ball 1. It was just 3 years ago where the Mariners celebrated a wild card series win right here. The Mariners are 4-0 in this ballpark in the 2 postseason matchups with the Blue Jays. Cal Raleigh, a tremendous season. 60 home runs. The pitch on the way to Cal, and it's a called strike. And the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Fans in the uppermost reaches here at Rogers Center. Now the look in by Savage, just 22 years of age. Swinging a ground ball up the first base line. It's going to be a foul ball just on the other side of the bag. And the count is 1-2 on Cal. Trey Savage, 1-0 during the postseason in 3 starts with a 3.21 ERA. His last outing was Monday here in Toronto against the Mariners. That was a 10-3 loss to the Mariners. He went 4+ innings and gave up 5 runs on 4 hits. Started off with a bang, a 3-run home run by Julio. The pitch on the way to Cal. It's going to be high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So the Mariners 1 win away from getting to somewhere they have never been, somewhere where you have never been. And that's the Fall Classic. They need a win tonight. Infielders turn around to the right side for Cal. 60 home runs on the year, more than anybody in baseball. Here's the pitch in the way, and a swing and a miss. And the count, and it's strike 3, and now there's 2 down for the Mariners here in the top half of the first inning. Tonight's first pitch of the game brought to you by Michael's Toyota of Bellevue. Since 1974, that's Michael's Toyota of Bellevue, for the life you live. So 2 up and 2 down, and that'll bring up designated hitter Jorge Polanco. Dan Wilson going with his lineup that he had a few days ago in Seattle, and that huge win against the Blue Jays. Here's the wind of the pitch, the Polanco swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. Trey Savage, basically the fastball, slider, and a great splitter. He started the year at Class A Dunedin this year. Here he is in this game. The pitch on the way, and it's outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. His first game of the year was on April the 8th for Dunedin. He also pitched at Vancouver, New Hampshire, and AAA Buffalo, then on to the big leagues. There's the next pitch. Swinging a fly ball into right field and deep. Going back is the right fielder, Barger, near the fence, and he's there to make the catch, and that's going to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. Everybody on the edge of their seats here and back home in the Northwest. We go to the bottom of the first inning, and our mechanics.
Great moments.
here in the postseason. His last outing was right here in Toronto last Monday. No decision. He lasted 3 innings, but that was coming on the heels of 2 innings of relief against the Detroit Tigers in that 15-inning marathon back home. So Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Mariners in this all-important Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. George Springer will lead things off. A couple of days ago, took a fastball off his knee, had to come out of the ballgame. He's back in the lineup tonight. But Logan in his first outing of the postseason on October the 7th, an 8-4 win in Detroit over the Tigers. He went 6 outstanding innings, gave up 1 run and 4 hits. So here's Springer to lead things off. The look in by Logan. Has a sign from Cal. The pitch on the way. Springer takes high and inside for ball 1. He loves to swing at that first pitch, but had to get out of the way from that one. Springer hit .309 during the regular season, 32 home runs, 84 runs batted in. Mariners in their Northwest green jerseys, gray pants, Blue Jays in their home whites. The windup and the 1-0 pitch to Springer. Swing and a miss, and he falls down to his right knee on the follow-through. On a good fastball from Logan, and the count is even on Springer at 1 ball and 1 strike. Springer 1 for 3 on Friday with a double and a run batted in. That huge win for the Mariners. The windup and the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a high pop out of play on the first base side, and the count is 1-2. If you're nervous, hey, that's all right. It has boiled down to this. Mariners don't want to play Game 7 tomorrow night here. They want to wrap it up tonight right here at Rogers Center. Logan with a new baseball. Looks in. The sign from Cal. Out in front of the count on Springer. The wind and the 1-2 on the way to Springer. Swinging a foul back behind the plate, and the count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Logan with the good fastball, the 4-seam fastball. Slider, splitter, an occasional curveball. But basically 4-seamer, slider, and the splitter. He's got a good one. Infield back on the left side. The look in by Gilbert. Works from the first base side of the rubber. The 1-2 again to Springer. Swinging a fly ball out of play down the right field side. And the count is still 1 ball and 2 strikes. Glad you could join us for all the play-by-play tonight, wherever you may be.
You can see Springer grimacing after nearly every swing. Of course, he has the knee, was hitting the knee. Last ball game, it looks like he's fighting through it, but having a difficult time.
He collapsed on one of the swings a few pitches ago. The windup. And again, the 1-2 pitch to Springer. It is going to be a little bit low. Not by much, but ball 2, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mariners managed by Dan Wilson, who's done a super job this year, along with his coaching staff, getting these guys ready time and time again, day after day, month after month. The windup and the 2-2 to Springer. It's up and in for ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Springer has made Logan work right away here in the bottom of the first inning. No score. We are just underway. The Blue Jays, 4 consecutive losses in the last 4 elimination games. The look in by Logan, looking to throw a strike. Looking to take care of Springer right away. Long look in. Now the windup by Gilbert. Here's the 3-2 on the way. Swinging a pop-up out of play on the first base side. A long run for Naylor, and this is just at the railing of the first base side on the other side of the Mariner dugout. And Naylor likes to play way off the line for a right-handed hitter. He had a long way to go, but it just barely scraped the netting on the first base side, and the count is still 3-2. And right now, this is an 8-pitch at bat for George Springer.
Fell down to a knee again on that swing.
He's still in pain, grimacing as he makes his way back up the home plate. The look in by George. Big sigh up on the mound by Logan. Here's the pitch on the way to George, swinging a broken bat looper, third base side, foul territory, and Gino is there to make the catch as the barrel of the bat trails Suarez in foul ground. He makes the catch, and there's one away. So Springer pops it up to Eugenio Suarez in foul territory. The bat broke in half, the barrel all the way out to Suarez as well, going down the left field line in foul territory. And there's one away for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the first inning. Sawed him off on pitch number 9 of the at-bat. And here's left fielder Nathan Lucas. Logan, a tough first out. Here's the pitch on the way. Lucas takes It's going to be high for ball one. DJ Rayburn, the home plate umpire, calling balls and strikes. Ryan Addington is at second. Ryan Addington at first. Doug Eddings at second. Ben May, the umpire, third. On the lines, Alfonso Marquez and Marvin Hudson. Now the windup and the 1-0 to Lucas. It's in there for a strike.
Well, it's going to be a problem if Logan doesn't get that first call. That was firmly in the zone at the top. He needs the high strike, so we'll see how the strike zone plays.
1-1 the count on Lucas. Logan ready, fires away the 1-1, and it's going to be, just off the plate. Barely misses ball two. 2 balls and a strike. Lucas, one of the 4 left-handed hitters in this lineup. Right behind him is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. In close to third base, Eugenio Suarez. Now the windup by Gilbert. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a line drive over the head of Naylor at first down the right field side. Up with the ball is Canzone in a hurry to keep Lucas to a 1-out single. Crowd into this ball game with every pitch. So 1 on, and that'll bring up Vlad Jr. Same friends, when considering a Volvo, people should come to Sandberg Volvo Cars in Linwood to experience the Sandberg difference. The only Excellence Award winner and family-owned and operated Volvo dealership in the Northwest. Come in as a friend, leave as a member of the family. See great reviews at SandbergVolvoCars.com. 1 on and 1 away. Guerrero, .292 hitter during the regular season. Fills up that right side of the batter's box. Logan ready, fires away, swing and a foul back, and man, he took a cut. Wanted to make it 2-0. Fouled it straight back, and the count is 0-1. Guerrero, 23 home runs during the regular season, but he's having a great postseason for the Blue Jays, batting .457 with 5 home runs and 11 runs batted in. 2 home runs in this series. Against Seattle, the stretch. And the 0-1 pitch to Vlad. It's going to be low and outside with a fastball at 98. Ball 1, 1 ball, and 1 strike. Logan still trying to find that strike zone. Had the long at bat against Springer. Gave up the single to Lucas on a 2-1 pitch. And now he's even on Guerrero at 1 ball and 1 strike. That an outstanding player in the big leagues. The stretch. And now the 1-1 on the way to Guerrero. Swinging a chopper past the mound. Coming up the second baseman. Rivas standing right at the bag for 1. He's got it. Throws the first not in time for the double play. They get the force at second on Lucas. As Rivas was waiting for the ball to get to him, it was chopped right past the mound. So Lucas is out at second. Guerrero's safe at first base on a 4 unassisted fielder's choice. 1 on and 1 away, and that'll bring up Alejandro Kirk. And when you can get Guerrero to hit a soft bouncer like that, it's a good day at the office. Now you got to do that at least 3 more times.
Well, he's slugging .971 for the postseason, so I concur.
You better believe
he has been a monster.
He has. Here's Kirk. 1 for 3 on Friday with a double. 4 for 18 in the league championship series. Tough hitter, drives the ball the other way, the stretch. And the pitch on the way to Kirk, swinging a foul ball out of play in the first base side, and the count is 0-1. As Logan reaches for a new baseball from the home plate umpire DJ Rayburn. No score, bottom of the first inning. Mariners trying to get to the World Series for their very first time. 1 win away. Guerrero a lead. And now the 0-1 on the way to Kirk. Here she comes, swinging a fly ball down the right field line and deep into the corner. Canzone. This one is slicing, and it is a foul ball. Foul ball deep down the right field line. We lost sight of Canzone. Looking at the right field umpire, Marvin Hudson, who made the call. A long strike 2, and the count is 0-2 on Kirk. That's what he likes to do, drive the ball the other way. Short, stocky, right-handed hitter, and this one kept slicing beyond the reach of Dom Canzone. Hit into the right field corner. So Guerrero back to the bag at first base. 1 on, 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning. No score if you just tuned in. In the meantime, the Los Angeles Dodgers are waiting. They won the National League pennant. They won 4 straight against the Milwaukee Brewers. And they're going back to the World Series for the 2nd consecutive season. They won it all last year against the Yankees. So here's Kirk back up there. And let's see if Logan throws him a swing and a miss splitter right here. Let's see what Cal wants him to throw. He'll do a little turn, keeping an eye on Guerrero. Here's the stretch, and the right-hander's 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Got him with the splitter, and that will retire the side. Strikeout number one for Logan Gilbert, and that's it for the Blue Jays in the bottom of the first. We go to the top half of the second, and our Mechanics Bank score. The Mariners. Great. We've had a number of heroes for the Mariners this postseason. Here's Josh Naylor. He's one of them as well. The pitch on the way to Josh. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. Savage has that nasty splitter. It seems like he'll throw that any time in the count. Big kid, 6'4", 225, out of Pottstown, Pennsylvania. First round pick just last season by the Blue Jays out of East Carolina University. Here he is pitching in the postseason. Pitch on the way, swinging a foul back by Naylor, and the count is now 0-2. So I'm sure the Naylor family is in force, family and friends here at Rogers Center. Brother Bo, you know, a fine catcher for the Guardians. Younger brother Miles, a shortstop. Here's the pitch on the way, swing and a miss by Naylor, fishing for the splitter. Goes down swinging, strikeout number 2 for Savage. And there's one away for the Mariners here in the top half of the second. So one down, and that'll bring up left fielder Randy Rosarena. Randy trying to get that bat going, 2 for 17 in this series. He came into this postseason one of the best postseason hitters over the last 10 years. And now time is called by the home plate umpire. Randy getting set. Savage getting reset on the mound. Here we go. Trey ready. Now the pitch on the way to Randy, and it's a fastball for a strike, and the count is 0-1. These guys have connected The Mariners teams from the past, players from the past with what they have accomplished right now. Pitch on the way, and that's inside with a fastball for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mariners were born in 1977 along with these Toronto Blue Jays. They were expansion cousins that year. Mariners finally got to the postseason in 1995. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. There's a look at that slider down and away. And the count is 1-2 on Randy. And now the fans getting behind you, Savage. He's out in front of the count. Here's where you really got to grind out of the bat. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a well-hit ball down the left field line, but it's pulled foul. And out of play, and the count is still 1-2 on Randy Arozarena. 1995, got to the postseason. 1 game play-in, beating the Angels and beating the Yankees in that 5-game division series. Here's the stretch, and the 1-2 again, swing and a miss, strike rate, a splitter. Back-to-back strikeouts for you, Savage here in the second. 3 strikeouts already. He's retired the first 5 in a row. So 2 up and 2 down for the Mariners here in the second. And that'll bring up third baseman Eugenio Suarez, the star, just 2 nights ago, Friday night in Seattle, with a solo blast and a grand salami. Here's the pitch on the way to Gino. It's outside for ball 1. And with that splitter, you got to make sure it's up in the strike zone. And Cal Raleigh was able to get that splitter for a home run off of his Savage last time he pitched here. Next off on the way to Gino, swinging a pop-up out of play behind the plate. And the count is even, a 1 ball and 1 strike. You see that splitter starting at the knees. Kind of looks like a fastball out of his hand, but it's going to wind up down low. That's what makes it so tough. But if it stays up in the strike zone, you got a chance to go get it. The look in by Savage. And the next off on the way to Gino. And it's a strike called. Top of the zone with a slider, and the count is now 1-2. Gino had that historical night. First at bat tonight, back in Toronto, game 6. A lot of noise. The windup and the 1-2 to Gino. It's outside, and a good take, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Savage down in the minor leagues. 25 games, 21 starts. From A-ball to the big leagues. Next off on the way, swinging a line drive down the left field line, but it's hooking foul. Gino just out in front of the pitch, and the count is still even on Suarez at 2 balls and 2 strikes. J.P. Crawford is due up next. Mariners would love to get something going as soon as possible. No score, top of the second. 2 up, 2 down. The look in, and again the 2-2 to Gino. It's going to be strike 3 called at the knees with a fastball as Savage strikes out the side here in the second. 4 strikeouts already. We go to the bottom of inning number 2 here at Rogers Center on Mechanics Bay score. The Mariners nothing and the Blue Jays nothing. Logan from the stretch. Here's the pitch on the way to Varsho. It's a strike, and the count is 0-1. Good slider from Logan. Fastball, slider, splitter, and a few other weapons as well in his arsenal. Curveball and a sinker. Infield straight away on the right side. Varsho, a left-handed bat. Here's the pitch of the way. Swinging a line drive into the gap in left center field. That's down for a base hit. Julio over to cut it off. Bounces off his glove. Varsho heading for second. Now the throw in by Julio, not in time. Varsho in at second base. Julio had a lot of ground to cover, but he got there. It glanced off his glove, and Varsho was able to take the extra base. And I think if Julio comes up with that ball cleanly, Varsho doesn't go. And it just wiggled in and out of his webbing of his glove. So a break for the Blue Jays, and they have the go-ahead run on in scoring position at second base. Here's Ernie Clement, who's been a tough out each and every game of this series. The stretch and the pitch to Clement. Over for a strike, and the count is 0-1. A fastball at 95 from Gilbert. And the Mariners pitchers have been up to the challenge in each and every series. The division series against Detroit. There's LCS against the Blue Jays. Now a big spot right here for Logan. Here's the pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. Gino knocks it down, can't find it, picks it up. The toss across, and it's not in time. Gino with an error at third base. It handcuffed him. And Clement is safe at first base, and the Blue Jays have runners at first and second with nobody out. That ball came up quickly. He looked to his left. It was off to his right. And let's see if the Mariners want to take a look at it, and they will not. So Clement is safe at first on the air. And the Mariners with a couple of miscues here in the bottom half of the second. 2 on and nobody out. And that'll bring up Addison Barger. The guys that really drive you crazy, Lucas, Clement, Barger, they seem to hit line drive, and the gaps are line drives down the line in this series. And right now you need a ground ball at somebody. Mariners defense played a big role on Friday night at home. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way to Barger. He takes a strike. 0-1. Mariners had two interesting double plays that helped out on Friday night behind Bryce Miller. Line drive to Naylor at first, through the second to double up Springer. Then a 2-3 double play. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Barger. He chased the pitch. That splitter down and away. And the count is now 0-2 on Barger, the kid born in Bellevue. At the age of 5, his family moved to Tampa, Florida. First and second and nobody out. Cal Raleigh will call that splitter for Logan. Would love a swing and a miss right here. Then get a double play ball and get out of the inning. The look in by Logan, and the 0-2 pitch is low and outside. There was a splitter again, but he didn't chase. And the count is 1-2 on Barger. 1 for 4 on Friday night. 3 for 18 in the series. Normally a third baseman, seeing time in right field, has a strong arm. Varsho at second. Clement on at first. The stretch. And the 1-2 on the way to Barger. Swinging a ground ball foul up the first base side. And the count is still 1-2. Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. Mariners can see the finish line. They can touch it. They need a win right here tonight to get there to the Fall Classic. Dodgers already there again. The stretch and the next offer on the way. It bounces in, and a great stop by Cal Raleigh. Ball 2 balls to 2 strikes. And Cal will keep the double play by keeping the runners at first and second. Cal gives you that confidence to throw that pitch anytime. But Logan buries that splitter low and inside in the dirt. And the count is even on Barger at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runners get their leads. Outfield straight away. And deep a few steps in right can zone. Here's the pitch of the way. Swinging a line drive in the right field for a base hit. Varsho to third being waved in. Can zone up with the ball. The throw goes into second. And the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead. Around to third goes Clement. Varsho scores. Barger with a line drive single to right and a run batted in. And it's 1-0 Blue Jays. And still nobody out here in the bottom half of the second. Hard hit ball by Barger into right field. That'll bring up second baseman Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Kiner-Falefa 1 for 4 on Friday night with a double. So the Blue Jays score the first run of the game, and Logan's still looking for the first out here in the bottom half of the second. And the infielders back. They would give up a run to try to turn a double play and stay away from a big inning to stretch. Here's the pitch on the way to Kiner-Falefa. Check swing. Does he go? Yes, he does. And the count is 0-1. Well, the Mariners had those big double plays behind Bryce Miller on Friday night. Now they need one behind Logan Gilbert tonight here in Toronto. Logan ready. The sign from Cal. Runners at the corners. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul off of Cal, and the count is now 0-2 on Kiner-Falefa, making his second consecutive start at second base in this series. Didn't play at all in the first 3 games, but always can be a tough out with the Pirates earlier this year and traded away to the Blue Jays. Here we go. Logan ready. The stretch and the 0-2 pitch on the way, and it's low and outside. It bounces in way out in front of the plate, and Cal reaches out, knocks it down. The ball rolls out in front of the plate. Holding at third is Clement. And another great stop by Cal Raleigh right there, trying to pick it like a shortstop and just bats it out in front of him. Keep the runners at first and third. That one almost got to the backstop. That would have scored another run. 1-2 on Kiner-Falefa. Logan looking for a swing and a miss. Here's the stretch. The 1-2 on the way. Swing and a ground ball foul on the third base side that bounces inside the Blue Jays dugout. And the count is still 1-2 strikes. So Logan early in the ball game has thrown a ton of stress pitches. Got himself out of a little bit of a jam at the bottom of the first inning. Had a long at bat against Springer, but he got him to pop up. The stretch, and again, the 1-2 pitch. Swing, little roller along the third base line. Up with the ball, and no, Gino can't find the handle, and a run will score. Suarez trying a barehanded stab on it. Ran by it. Clement will score from third, and the Blue Jays now lead 2-0, and still nobody out. That's going to be an infield base hit for Kiner-Falefa. 2 runs are in. Runners on at first and second with nobody out. And here comes Pete Woodworth, Mariners pitching coach, out of the dugout to settle down Logan.
And even if Gino makes his play cleanly, I'm not sure that they get him at home plate anyway. The Blue Jays have been able to make contact, sometimes great, sometimes not great in that case, on pitches that have been well outside the zone from Logan Gilbert. That pitch was not close to a strike, but Kiner-Falefa, who's just a contact guy through and through, puts it in a really impossible spot. And going back to Barger's single, that was a splitter that was practically a foot up above the strike zone that he was able to tee off for a line drive single into right field. So some pretty open-minded swings from the Blue Jays and some bad defense for the Mariners this inning.
Already a couple of miscues, and the Blue Jays have taken advantage. 2-0, they lead. Nobody out. Here's Andres Jimenez, who's been a real thorn in the side of the Mariners in this series. Close at third base is Gino. Let's see what Jimenez wants to do with 2 on and nobody out. The stretch by Logan. Jimenez turns the bunt, and he fouls it away behind the plate, and the count is 0-1. So Logan with a new baseball. He has thrown 35 pitches already and still looking for that first out here in the bottom half of the second. Barger on at second. Kiner-Falefa at first. Pitch on the way. Bunt attempt, and Jimenez takes down low. The ball 1 ball and 1 strike.
Really important that this inning does not get to Vlad Jr. Nobody out. Top of the order is next. Vlad, the number 3 man.
When the Blue Jays won a couple of blank games, their bottom of the order was unbelievable. Here's the pitch. And Jimenez, a swing and a miss after he showed bunt, and the count is now 1-2. He was showing bunt, drew in the corners. Gino at third, Naylor at first base, and took a hack at it and missed, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runners get their leads. Logan ready, glove hand down around his left knee. Has the sign from Cal. Now the stretch, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And a big first out for Logan with 2 in and 2 on for the Blue Jays here in the bottom half of the second. That is strikeout number 2 for Gilbert. And now now he needs a ground ball double play more than anything. And here's George Springer, still nursing a very sore knee. Remember, was hit by a pitch on a fastball from Brash 2 nights ago. He eventually popped up in the bottom of the first inning, went back to the dugout. They put an apparatus around his knee, so it's still barking at him. And he was grimacing in pain at a couple of swings during that long at bat in the bottom of the first. The look in by Logan, runners their leads. And the pitch on the way to Springer is down low for ball 1. Nathan Lucas is due up next. You don't want the Blue Jays to run away and hide in the early part of the ball game. Trey Savage is off to a good start for the Blue Jays. Logan ready from the belt. And now the 1-0 pitch is down and away for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. A must-win for the Blue Jays, otherwise they're out. And the Mariners do not want to have to play a Game 7 tomorrow night. They want to win and get to the series. Here's the stretch. And the big 2-0 pitch to Springer. And it's low and inside for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. Logan has thrown a ton of pitches here in the bottom half of the second. He's at 41 for the game. Springer back up there. Outfield straight away. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's high and inside. Ball 4. Springer draws a walk on 4 straight pitches. And you got to wonder how long will Dan Wilson hang in there with his veteran right-hander. Looks like somebody's starting to stir inside the pen beyond the right field wall. All hands on deck for this one. The Mariners would love to wrap it up. But now the bases are loaded. The Blue Jays have Barger on at third. Kiner Falefa is on at second. Springer is on at first base with a walk. 1 away, and that'll bring up Nathan Lucas, who lined a base hit into right field in the bottom of the first inning. So now, Logan looking to land that splitter down to the zone and get a double play ball. The stretch and the pitch on the way. Lucas, a swing and a bouncer, foul on the first base side. And the count is 0-1. In the postseason, Logan, with 3 appearances, 2 starts, 1 game in relief in that 15-inning game at home against Detroit. The look in by Gilbert, and the right-handers 0-1 pitch on the way to Lucas. Swing and a foul straight back. And the count is 0-2. A fastball at 96 miles an hour. The Blue Jays have really made Logan labor here in the early part of this game. And right now he would like to keep it a 2-0 Toronto lead, but still only 1 out with the bases full. Gilbert from the stretch. And the 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss at a splitter for strike 3. And that's a huge strikeout for Logan. His 3rd strikeout of the ballgame and 2 outs with the bases loaded now for the Blue Jays. And here comes Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with the bases full.
You put him on?
No.
Where's Buck Showalter when you need him?
Buck Showalter did that to Barry Bonds, and it paid off.
Barely, but it did. You're right.
Yeah. No, you got to take your chances right here. You got Logan Gilbert against Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who tapped out softly, actually a fielder's choice to Rivas, waiting for it at second base for the force there on Lucas. Here we go, tough assignment, the stretch. The pitch on the way to Vlad Jr., and it's low and outside in the dirt, knocking it down again. Cal, and Logan has kept Cal very busy in the early part of the game. So 1-0 the count on Guerrero, batting .457 during the postseason. With 5 home runs, 11 runs batted in, batting .359, 7 for 18 against the Mariners in the league championship series. 2-0 Blue Jays. Bases loaded and 2 outs. Here's the stretch by Gilbert. And the 1-0 pitch of Vlad. Swinging a hard hit ground ball to third. Diving stop by Gino. He'll go to Rivas at second for the force on Springer. Holy smokes, what a play by Eugenio Suarez. He saves with that diving stop 2-run. Here's side here in the bottom half of the second inning. What a play by Gino. The Blue Jays get 2, and it could have been a lot worse. What a smash by Guerrero.
Pitch to JP. Over the corner, a strike. Count even. The Savage into the motion. He deals. Swung on and missed. A waving cut at a splitter just off the plate. That's something the Mariners didn't do a lot of the first time around. And in game 2, the Savage went 4 innings. Mariners got him for 5 earned runs. Mariners did a great job of not swinging at the splitter. He winds. Here comes the 1-2. That bounced in. An obvious one not to swing at there for JP. He threw 16 splitters to the Mariners. Just 6 swings and only 2 swings and misses, which was the biggest key. The 2-2. Down low. He lays off a slider. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Savage, his 3rd postseason start after 3 regular season starts to his career. The pitch. High and away, ball 4. And the Mariners have the leadoff man aboard. J.P. Crawford draws a walk. That's a good start to the 3rd inning for the Mariners.
Yeah, the Mariners need an inning to make him work a little bit, get him off his spot some. Savage, that is. Now, this is definitely an all-hands-on-deck kind of game for the Blue Jays, but the Savage, when he is right, he is nasty and a total difference maker.
Here's Dom Canzone. The pitch. Over the corner. Right on the edge at 94. Called a strike, 0-1. He struck out the side in the 2nd. He comes set. Delivers. Swung on and missed. Dom swings through a splitter. So he's in a tough spot. No balls, 2 strikes. It's been a struggle for Dom in the postseason. Small lead at first base by JP. Mariners down 2. The pitch bounced in. He spikes another splitter.
It's funny, he really doesn't throw that hard.
He doesn't, you're right. He averages, well, he averaged 95 in 3 regular season starts, but he's more of a 92, 93 type of guy.
And we've seen some of those tonight already.
His pitch. Swung on and missed. Went after a splitter and missed it. That's the 5th strikeout already. So 1 away with JP at first base here in the 3rd. As we take a look at the premium matchup powered by Atmos Rewards, a loyalty program by Alaska Airlines and Hawaiian Airlines. Seize the moment. Join today at AtmosRewards.com. It is the matchup between Savage and Logan Gilbert. Leo Rivas, the batter. Here's the pitch. Strike right at the knees at 94. Logan has really had to work in this game so far. Meanwhile, Savage breezed through the first 2. Has a runner on first base here. 1 out. Mariners down 2. The 0-1. Swung out and missed. Slider. Really mixing up the slider and the splitter.
Yeah, we talk about that not overwhelming velocity, but if those 2 pitches, the split and the slider, are working for him, it's a long night, and it has been early on.
Rivas steps out, adjusts the batting gloves. No balls, 2 strikes. Just 35 pitches as well. He's been efficient. JP steps off his lead at first base. The 0-2. A half cut, but he held. That was a splitter in the dirt. So 1-2. Rivas does not have a hit in this series, but he's drawn 3 walks. He's reached base 3 times. The 1-2. In the dirt. Lays off another split. During the regular season, opponents only batted .111 against that split. Again, 3 starts. It was Julio who hit a home run off the split in the first inning of Game 2. It's been a devastating pitch for him. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Leo. Swung on, popped up, third base side. That's going to tail into the seats, out of play. We'll do it again. And they are making him throw a few more pitches here in this frame.
There's a fastball on 94, and you see Leo late on it because he's seeing so many splitters. Makes that fastball look even quicker. Both catchers getting a workout with Gilbert and Savage throwing so many splits.
2 balls, 2 strikes. He delivers. High. Full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A splitter left up. Rivas has fought full. This will be pitch number 40 by Savage. JP at first base. Mariners trailing by 2. Julio on deck. The 3-2. Swung on. That is cracked. Right field. Barger back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. Makes a leap at the wall. It's off the wall. JP to second base. He's going to have to hold. Rivas settles for a single off the wall. He nearly drove it out. That's a long, long single.
And not only that, JP really had to wait halfway because we know how great of a right fielder Barger is, and he had such a good read on it, and you thought he could go up there and make a leaping catch, and he nearly did. In fact, his glove kind of got held up going up the wall. I'm not sure how much that actually impacted things, but it looked like it would have been above his reach anyway.
So here's Julio with the tying runs aboard. Julio hit a home run off of Savage in Game 2. Here's the pitch. Low and away. Mariners putting pressure on the Blue Jays starter for the first time. Julio batting here, and then you have Cal. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch to Julio. Down low, snap throw to first base. It is not in time. Vlad Guerrero immediately points to the dugout. He wants the Blue Jays to challenge this. It looked like in real time that Rivas got his hand on the base before the tag.
And Leo got...
They're going to look at it.
Oh, no.
Rivas has already been picked off once in this series. This would be bad if he is out.
Toronto Blue Jays are challenging the safe call at first base.
It's hard to tell from our angle exactly when the tag hit. But it's close.
Mariners got a little bit of a break there. The throw took Guerrero to the front side of the bag, and his glove got hung up on the front of the bag and then had to reach. He got the tag on Leo's elbow, but it looked like he may have gotten that hand to the back corner of the bag.
Rick, I think you're right. I think his glove hit the bag first.
Yeah.
It looks like he almost tags the ground.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think Leo's going to be safe.
Yeah, it's very close.
And the good thing, we're always right on these. So
I just wish Leo would be a little more careful.
Yeah.
I mean, heads-up play by Kirk behind the plate.
He's caught him flat-footed, but hopefully the Mariners survive this.
The good news is that the safe call was made on the field. It's up to the umpire in Manhattan. But Guerrero's glove comes down, hits the front of the bag, then has to reach for Leo.
Yeah, really, he takes 2 pit stops. He hits the bag, then he tags the ground, and then he gets to Rivas' hand or arm.
Here we go.
After review, the call stands. The runner.
I just heard a big sigh of relief from everybody in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was very close. So, runners on first and second, 1 out. Rivas has a smile on his face. 2 balls, no strikes. It's a big spot right here for the Mariners. They're trailing 2-0. A real opportunity with Julio batting, and then Cal after. Savage comes set. The pitch. Swung on and missed. He went to the slider. It was below the zone. Julio swings through. So it's 2-1. JP at second base. He drew a walk. Rivas a single off the wall. Julio climbs back into the box, taps the plate a couple of times. Pinwheels the bat around. Savage is ready. The 2-1. Low. A splitter below the zone, and Julio lays off. That's an excellent take. 3-1. Cal lurking on deck. The 3-1 to Julio. Here it is. Inside ball 4 there. Loaded up for Cal Raleigh.
Do you put Cal on? There comes Pete Walker, their pitching coach.
You can feel the unease in this building.
And there's what that at-bat by Julio did against Savage a few days ago here when he hit that 3-run home run in the top of the first inning. Didn't give in. Behind in the count, still throwing that splitter. But here's Cal Raleigh with a chance to come up with a huge swing, which he's done how many times this year? A ton of them.
While they have the meeting, let's pause for station identification on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
This is Mariners Baseball on Seattle Sports.
Take care.
Is loaded and Cal Raleigh batting. 64 home runs on the season, regular season and postseason. Bases loaded. Savage ready. Here's the pitch to Cal. Swung on, smashed to the right side. It's gloved by Guerrero. Throws to second for one. Relay to first. In time, double play. Cal smashed it. But a double play, and that ends the Mariners' threat in the third. A 0 on the board. We head to the bottom of the inning. Still 2-0 Blue Jays on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network. 50 pitches. Logan is sliding out of the head. Into the motion. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. He sears in a fastball in the corner. A lot of what the Blue Jays have hit tonight have been out of the zone. Usually that's not the way to make a living off of Logan Gilbert. That's how he garners so much swing and miss. Logan winds, delivers. That bounced in. Kirk did not offer, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gilbert, for pitchers who threw at least 130 innings this year, the second highest strikeout rate in baseball, just ahead of Skubal. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, smashed down the third baseline. Gino on the back end in foul territory. Now long throw across on one hop. Naylor, fancy footwork, makes the play. Able to scoop it, and Kirk is retired on a very tricky play. Gino's made a couple nice ones in a row.
Yeah, he really has. As a third baseman, you want that longer hop. If you're the first baseman, and it kind of got to him a little bit quicker than that, he had to do a nice little crossover step to take it on a tough hop. Great play on both ends.
Here's Varsho. He got things rolling with a single and then an error after that on Julio. Got him to second. Here's the pitch. Buckles his knees. That's a strike, a slider. 2-0 Blue Jays. You're with us inside the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. Logan steps into the pitch. Strike at the knees. A curveball. He's been dialed this inning so far. 2 runs, 4 hits Toronto. No runs, 1 hit for the Mariners. Logan's 0-2. Swung on, lifted, right field, hit fairly well, but Canzone rushes over right there to make a one-hand catch. And quickly, 2 away. It's exactly what Logan was hoping for. Winner will play the Dodgers in the World Series of this series as we take a look at the Chevy Colorado scoreboard. This is the only game left, so there's not a lot of scores to look at this point of the season. Dodgers are waiting. Here's Clement. Logan's pitch. Swung on. That is lasered left field. Arozarena back. He's at the wall. Makes a leap. It's off the wall. Arozarena rushes over around second base. Here comes Clement. He's going to go into third. Standing. It's a triple.
I think Randy thought that was a home run. It almost looked like he kind of gave up on it once he didn't make the catch. And then the ball caromed far away. It stayed in the ballpark, hitting high off the wall. And then Randy had to go chase it down. And I wonder how much that enabled that extra base of third.
Randy couldn't find it. He was looking the wrong way after it hit the wall. Oh, big spot right here. Barger batting. There's 2 outs, runner at third. Here's the pitch. He sends it over for a strike, a slider. It's kind of an unusual wall where the bullpens are, where you have a normal-looking wall, and then there's kind of fencing, see-through fencing right above it before you get to the top of the wall. Here's the pitch. Swung on. That is cracked high, deep, right field. Canzone looking up, and it is gone. Addison Barger, a 2-run home run. Blue Jays lead 4-0. An innocent start to this inning. Logan retired the first 2. A triple and a homer after that. And Logan's getting hit hard. Here's Kiner Falefa. The pitch to him. Here it is. Strike over the corner. Crowd in a frenzy now. Bizzardo up for the Mariners. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Way late on a fastball just off the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. 4-0 Jays. 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Here comes the pitch. Inside. Splitter didn't have much bite. 1-2. Logan steps into the pitch. Swung on, softly hit to shortstop. J.P. Crawford charges, gloves, fires to first in time to get the out. Inning over, but 2 more on the board. Addison Barger, a 2-run home run. So the Mariners some work to do. We head to the 4th. It's a 4-0 deficit on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Build your bets before visiting Bet River Sportsbook at Swin.
Let's see if we can.
For just 4 innings. Here is Polanco. The righty's pitch. Polanco takes a strike. Polanco DH, and he flew out to the warning track in right field back in the first inning. It was just a 9-pitch first inning for you, Savage. His 0-1. And misses low in the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. Third postseason start for you, Savage, the 20th overall pick back in, well, just last year by these Blue Jays. 4-0 Toronto, just underway, top of the 4th. 1-1. Swinging, it's fouled back over the screen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I wonder if you would have told Trey Savage in April when he made his professional debut with Single A Dunedin that he would be pitching in a win-or-go-home game in the American League Championship Series for the Blue Jays, what he would have told you. That's the position he's in. What a journey it has been. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Polanco, the pitch. It's outside. Not as close as they want to make you think. 2-2. Savage comes set, deals. Swinging, it's pulled foul. You know, when Savage sets up, as he looks towards the mound, you can almost read his numbers on his back. One of the most over-the-top deliveries in baseball. It's very extreme in that regard. It's a much different look than you're used to seeing. 2-2. Swinging a fly ball, lofted out to right field, playable towards the corner near the line, and the catch made by Barger for round number 1. Polanco flies to right. That brings up Josh Naylor. Day off yesterday for the Mariners. They got in that morning, really, at about 4 a.m. after the long flight from Seattle. Had a workout yesterday here at Rogers Center. And tonight, Game 6. 1 out, bases clean. Mariners trail at the top of the 4th. The pitch to Naylor. He swings and shoots this on a line towards the gap in left center field. It's a base hit. Naylor is aboard with a single. Cut off by Varsho. Naylor singles with 1 out. Just the Mariners' second hit. Both of them have been singles against Savage. That puts a man on for Rosarena. Mariners don't have to get all 4 this inning, but they sure would love to chip away a little bit. Blue Jays 4, Mariners nothing. As we broadcast from the Western Washington Toyota radio booth. 1 out, 1 on. Here is Randy. The pitch his way. He swings and fouls it off the right side for strike 1.
Pizzardo still throwing in the Mariners' pen.
It's funny, not as though it was a ton of pitches on a silver platter to the Blue Jays, but the ultra-aggressive Blue Jays team, they hit a lot of pitches either on the edges or even outside of the zone against Gilbert. 0-1. Swinging, it's rattled softly. Third base side, Clement charges with a bare hand. He can't field it cleanly, and Randy is aboard. Infield base hit. The Mariners will take some traffic any way they can get it. That pushes Naylor into second. All of a sudden, the tying run is on deck. 1 out, 2 on for Gino. They are booing Gino. If you knew him, you wouldn't boo him. They're not too pleased with his game-winning grand slam. Just 2 days ago. Now, Gino can't have been booed that many times in his life, right? 1 out, 2 on. Pitch to Gino. That is outside, up and away. Elevated slider misses for ball 1.
He's just trying to do a little thing, and a big thing happened. He was just trying to get the ball in the air to right field with the bases loaded, driving a go-ahead run, and the ball went out the other way to right for a grand slam.
1-0. Swinging, he gets a piece. He fouls it back. He had 97 on the outer black, and Gino able to send it the other way for a game-winning grand slam. First and second, 1 away. Top of the 4th. The right-hander's pitch. It misses high. They appeal on a check swing. He doesn't go. 2-1. That fastball was up. When Savage is going well, and he has most all this year, his fastball's up and splitters down. Very north-south pitcher. Naylor at second base, Rosarena at first. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Slider down and away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gino. JP's on deck. Mariners put some traffic on against Savage now for the second straight inning, trying to cash in for the first time. On a 2-2. Swinging, it's rolled over, foul over by third base. Still 2-2 to Eugenio Suarez. Gino said after the game that he had waited his entire career for a moment like that grand slam. One of the great moments in franchise history. Looking for an encore performance here now. 2-2. It's low, and it goes right through the wickets of Kirk, and Arozarena goes into second, Naylor to third. So the Mariners now can grab a run on a healthy fly ball, 1 out and 2 in scoring position on a wild pitch. Meanwhile, it's a full count to Gino. Infield back, 1 out. Second and third. The 3-2. It is just missing. A touch high. That didn't miss by much. What a take by Gino. And for the second straight inning, the Mariners have the bases loaded against Savage. Yeah, it's not like this traffic is coming because the Mariners are just lasering the ball all over the place. They've had some walks, an infield base hit, 2 other singles. Now they're trying to cash in on it. 3 walks from Savage. Here's J.P. Crawford. 1 out, bases loaded. The pitch. And that is a strike. Tying run is now at the plate for the Mariners. Runners all around. Savage comes set just above the belt. The 0-1 pitch. And that is a strike. That was borderline on the outer black, but it was a strike. 0-2 as JP steps out and calls time. Naylor, the runner at third. Arozarena at second. Suarez is at third. Blue Jays have all 4 runs, but the Mariners now a chance to get on the board. 1 out and the base is loaded. The next pitch. Swinging a line drive, a short hopper instead taken there by IKF. A flip to Jimenez over to first base. And for the second straight inning, the Mariners ground into an inning-ending double play with the bases loaded. Well, frustration inside the Mariners dugout right now. It is bend but not break for the rookie Trey Savage. He has wiggled off the hook for the second consecutive frame. We move on to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Blue Jays 4 and the Mariners nothing on the Global Credit Union. We've talked about how aggressive the Blue Jays have been in this series. They are among the most aggressive hitting teams in baseball. Gilbert, a big deep breath. He fires away the 0-1. Check swing and appeal to third. He does not go. Something else the Blue Jays do exceptionally well. In fact, they do it better than anyone, and we've seen it firsthand here tonight. They make more contact outside of the strike zone than any other team. It's worked out for them tonight. The next pitch. Swing and a miss. Dialed up a good breaking ball, and Jimenez is behind 1-2. Shortstop for the Blue Jays calls time. He had been at second, but then has taken over at shortstop in recent weeks because of the injury to Bo Bichette, who was unavailable for this series because of a knee injury. So Jimenez at short in Bichette's place. Gilbert rocks for the motion. The pitch. Very high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jimenez, a platinum glove winning second baseman during his time with the Guardians. He was then traded to the Blue Jays. Top of the order due up next. Jimenez leading off the home half of the 4th. Gilbert's 2-2. Swinging a ground ball, 1 hopper, thigh high to Gino, who's been busy over at third, gathers and throws to first. And there is out number 1. 5-3 goes Jimenez. Leadoff man sat down for George Springer. Well, speaking of aggressive, Springer has been remarkably aggressive this postseason. When he swings at the first pitch, Springer 5 for 7 with with a double and 3 home runs. So be careful on the first pitch of George Springer. Mariners have seen that firsthand. Gilbert's first offering. Swing, and it's a fly ball high out towards left center field, but playable. Julio drifts, and he makes the catch for out number 2. That was a fastball that did catch quite a bit of the plate. So make it 5 for 8 for Springer on the first pitch this year. 2 outs, nobody on. Nathan Lucas batting. 4-0 Blue Jays. Lucas has singled and struck out. Lefty bat for Toronto. Here comes Logan's pitch. Swinging, it's fouled back. Fastball almost center cut. Strike 1 to Lucas. So Guerrero is on deck. Bizzardo, by now you have to figure, ready to go. If Lucas reaches, would it be Bizzardo to face Vlad, who his last time facing Logan Gilbert grounded out at 116 miles an hour. The 0-1. It's low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Remember when the Mariners were here earlier this season, Guerrero grounded out to Ben Williamson at 120 miles an hour at third base. It was the hardest hit ball of Vlad's career. Blue Jays leading. 2 outs, nobody on, bottom of the 4th. The 1-1. Swinging, it's fouled back. Man, that's another fastball that's almost dead red. Logan's gotten away with a couple of them this at-bat. Playing with fire, especially against this kind of a hitter.
I don't know. He's been hit hard outside the zone. Maybe he's mixing it up.
Like the Tony Gwynn treatment, just throw it down the middle. He's hit everything else. Logan ahead. The 1-2 offering. And this is low. Vlad waiting on deck. Lucas batting .333 for this series with a handful of doubles. Tough guy to strike out. Gilbert fires. Swinging a ground ball over to Rivas. Right there at second base. Easy throw to first, and the best inning so far tonight for Logan Gilbert. A 1-2-3-4 to try to calm the waters a little bit. After 4, it's the Blue Jays 4, the Mariners nothing on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network. that day, and they whiffed on 11 of them. Pitch is outside. Ball 1 to Canzone. Savage said after Game 2 against the Mariners that he did not really have a great feel for the splitter that day. We saw more sliders. Today, both pitches have been on. He fires home. It's a strike. Fastball just getting enough of the top of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. That fastball to 93. That's about his average velocity. The 1-1. Swinging, it's fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Canzone in right field tonight for the Mariners. Is Savage approaching 70 pitches? "13 swings by the Mariners on that splitter. 7 whiffs so far. 1-2. It's high. That was an easy take. A splitter that really took off on him. So when they have swung at that split finger tonight, they've whiffed on it over half the time. That is exactly what Savage is looking for. 4-0 Toronto, just beginning the top of the 5th. The 2-2. Oh, well, that could have been a strike. Fastball that dots up the lower inside corner. Instead, Canzone will live to see at least one more pitch. It's 3-2. And Dom steps out, calls time. The next offering. Swinging a ground ball, quickly skipping up the middle. It's into center field for a base hit. Jimenez, the shortstop, dove out towards second base and couldn't get there. Canzone wiggles a base hit into center. And the Mariners with a leadoff base hit. Some traffic right away. Here comes Leo Rivas. Canzone able to take a pitch that Savage left up. And able to make good contact on it. Hit that ball hard, 107 off the bat from Dom. Canzone at first, here is Rivas, the pitch. That's a strike. Fastball on the very top rung. Rivas, a 7-pitch AB his last at-bat, and he was just a few feet shy of homering out to right field. He had to settle for a long single. Top of the order is next. That's Julio. The 0-1. Swinging, he fouls it back. That was a good pitch to hit. 94 right over the plate. Four hits for the Mariners so far. They've all been singles. Savage has walked 3. Mariners have had plenty of traffic the last 2 innings, but nothing to show for it. That after Savage sat down the first 6 hitters to begin the ball game. Blue Jays in front 4-0. Canzone at first, nobody out, top of the 5th. On an 0-2. Swing and a miss. He waves at a very well-located splitter. You don't see Rivas go down on 3 pitches very often, but that happens here. 6 punch out for Savage.
Varland is starting to throw in the Blue Jays bullpen.
This is now 3rd time through the order. Get a sense if he were to load the bases again, he would not be facing the next man. The pitch to Julio. Swinging a ground ball over to the shortstop. Jimenez to a knee. Fields throws the second one. On to first. It's in time. You guessed it. The 3rd straight inning-ending double play. No challenge by the Mariners. Trey,
let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco.
3. And much like the Mariners, they suffered a very long playoff drought. Here is Vlad Jr. facing Gilbert for the third time. Logan's pitch. It's a strike. That was right over the plate at 94. Strike one to Vlad. Now, Vlad has had a sensational postseason. 5 home runs in the 2 series. He has struck out only twice. The 0-1. It's inside, not missing by much. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, funny thing is, you look at Vlad's last 30 games of the regular season. 30 games. He hit 2 home runs. Gilbert sets at the belt buckle. His 1-1 offering. Swinging a fly ball out to left field, and you can add up another homer for Vlad. Man, that's his 6th this postseason. Blue Jays extend the lead. It's 5-0 Toronto in the bottom of the 5th inning. A no-doubter.
Randy Rosarena out of left field, never even turned around. Sees a laser way out to the back of the Blue Jays bullpen. That got out quickly to left field.
Well, he hit one 116 on the ground his last time up, and the Mariners were lucky enough that it found Gino on a dive at third. Logan stays in to face him a third time, and he takes him deep. Bizzarno's been warmed. And Dan is going to Bizzarno now, following the home run from Vlad. It was not Logan's night. A chance to pitch the Mariners to the World Series. And Gilbert gets chased after 4+ and 5 runs. Not helped out at times tonight by his defense, but that was a knockout shot by Vlad Jr. We've got a pitching change. Bizzarno's coming in, bottom of the 5th inning. Bases empty, nobody out. It's the Blue Jays 5 and the Mariners nothing on the Global Credit Union. Here is Kirk facing Bizzardo. All Blue Jays so far, 5-0. Nobody out, nobody on. Bottom of the 5th inning. The pitch. And Kirk looks at a fastball 96 middle in. And that was a hanging curveball from Gilbert to Vlad Jr. The 0-1 pitch. Swinging, it's fouled back. 0-2. 2 runs in the second and in the third for the Blue Jays. Gilbert had his best inning yet in the fourth. He retired the side in order until he left that hanger to Guerrero. 0-2. Swinging a shot on a line out to Canzone. Straightaway right field. He makes the catch shoulder high. Kirk, a firm fly out to right field, and it brings up the lefty bat of Dalton Varsho. A playoff Vladdy has been a force. My goodness. Just ask the Yankees, and the Mariners have now seen it firsthand. 6 home runs this postseason. That's tied a franchise record. The pitch. Varsho swings and misses. 0-1. The 0-1 from Bizzardo is low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Varsho got a break right there. Nasty pitch.
So instead of 0-2, it's 1 ball and 1 strike. The next offering, swinging a fly ball drilled. Center field, Julio showing his numbers. He's on the warning track. He's at the wall with just enough room to make the catch for round number 2. Our Chevy Colorado scoreboard. Dodgers are awaiting this series to finish up. If the Mariners were to make the World Series, it would be the first Pacific Time Zone World Series since the Angels and the Giants back in 2002.
This inning has been a laser show. 103, Vladdy the home run. 101 by Kirk the lineout just now. Varsho, 103 to center field. Everything hit hard tonight.
When the Blue Jays win games this postseason, they score runs.
Yeah.
And I mean, they score runs, and they are on their way to doing that tonight unless the Mariners change things. The pitch to Clement. Fastball on the inner edge for strike 1. You look at the Blue Jays 5-4 this postseason. Their 5 wins, they're averaging almost 10 runs a game. And their 4 losses, 3 runs a game. It's been night and day. 0-1. Swinging a little inside-out loop that drops in for a base hit. Dunks in near the line in right field. It's extra bases for Clement. He's in at second on just kind of a no-man's-land parachute job. He tripled his last time up, and he doubles here. The Blue Jays have hit 15 home runs in their 5 wins this October. They've hit 2 home runs in their 4 losses. Now, this is kind of interesting for the Blue Jays, a team that did not hit an enormous amount of home runs in the regular season. There is Barger, the pitch. He swings and lifts it into shallow straightaway center field. Julio medium dip that makes the catch to retire the side. Barger flies to center field. Clement is stranded. Vlad homers in the inning, and after 5, Blue Jays have 5 runs, the Mariners none.
Great moments in baseball.
He did. So 0-1 on Cal. Is Savage at 76 pitches. He has 6 strikeouts. Cal calls time. Savage slight nod of the head. Goes into the motion, the pitch. At the knees. Zipped it in at 93. So he's ahead now. No balls, 2 strikes. No runs, 4 hits. Mariners, 5 runs, 8 hits for Toronto. Into the motion is pitch. Inside. Missed on a fastball. 1-2. Mariners looking for more traffic and trying to cash in this time. The 1-2. Swung on, fouled away. Stays alive on a slider below the zone. Cal has 4 home runs in the postseason, 3 in this series. In his career now, he has hit 14 home runs against the Blue Jays. If you combine regular season and postseason, that's tied for the most against any team, which is significant because he plays the Blue Jays far fewer times than he plays the A's, for example. Here comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Down he goes. Missed on a splitter. Strikeout number 7 for Savage. Here's Polanco. He's 0 for 2 in the game so far. Savage the pitch. Misses down low, just below the zone. 5-0 Blue Jays, top of the 6th inning. Here's the pitch. And that misses away. I showed Jimenez at shortstop. He's got sunglasses attached to the back of his cap.
Well, that makes sense.
Anyone? Explanation?
Nope. There's none.
What that would be?
Nope. Had no clue.
Here comes the 2-0. Swung on a chopper to first base. Vladdy backs up on it. Has it. Long underhand toss to first. The Savage stomps on first to get the out. And there's 2 away.
On top of that, we're playing indoors.
That's the thing. Yeah. That's the confusing part. Here's Naylor. Naylor has one of the hits for the Mariners. 1 for 2. Savage trying to get through the 6th. 83 pitches. He delivers. Swung on. That is blasted right field. It's on its way, and it is gone. Josh Naylor grabs one back. A solo home run in the 6th inning. The Mariners are on the board. It's now 5-1 Blue Jays.
Well, the Mariners needed anything, a spark to try to get something going against Savage, and Naylor with another home run, his 2nd home run here at Rogers Center in the American League Championship Series. Something to quiet the crowd down here in Toronto. What a shot by Josh.
So the Mariners on the board. Here's Arozarena. The pitch to him. Outside. It's now 5-1 Toronto. Top of the 6th. 2 outs. Arozarena, infield hit last time. The pitch to him. Swung on, cracked, fouled on the 3rd base line. Count even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Naylor's had a great series. He deals. Swung on, line drive, base hit into right field. It's in the gap. Arozarena, wide turnaround first, cut off by Barger, quickly gets it in. So, a base hit by Arozarena, and that brings up Gino. And we'll see if there's going to be movement out of the Blue Jays dugout. Their bullpen is ready. One swing by Gino here could change your feelings about this one. Here comes John Schneider. He's getting booed on his way out.
Yeah, fans aren't too happy. The kid speaks very well, obviously.
Well, his last pitching change in Seattle, not accepted warmly by the faithful in Toronto. That's going to be it. They're going to the bullpen. So we'll see what the Mariners can do against the pen. It's now a 5-1 game. Blue Jays with the lead. Back with more right after this.
A bicentennial isn't measured in years.
In the postseason. One of the first guys out of the pen nearly every time. Here's the pitch. Steams over for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Top of the 6th, 2 outs. Mariners trailing by 4. Randy a cautious lead at first. Marlin set. Here's the pitch. High. Missed at 97. 2 balls, 1 strike. Mariners have had so many opportunities in this game. The 2-1. Down low. 3 balls and 1 strike. Missed on a curveball. Mariners 3 straight innings of double plays to end the inning. One run in, looking for more. The pitch. It's over the corner, a strike, a curveball on the edge. So 3-2. Crowd rises. Full count, 2 outs. Randy will take off. There he goes, the pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit, right field. Randy around second base. He's flying into third. The ball hits the sidewall. Randy around third. He's being waved. Here he comes, a throw home by Barger. Offline. Randy slides. He is safe. The Mariners have another run. Randy Arozarena was flying around the bases, and the Mariners grab another. It's 5-2 Blue Jays.
Outstanding mad dash, scoring all the way from first on a soft liner down that right field line. Very aggressive send by third base coach Chris Negron, knowing that Kiner for left for the second baseman, it was going to take a while to get to it. So would be the right fielder Barger. So the Mariners come up with a big run, a big hit with 2 outs. And now they've got 2 in here in the 6th.
Here's JP. So Gino at first base, 2 outs, 2 in. Here's the pitch. Strike. Starts with a curveball. JP grounded into an inning-ending double play with the bases loaded in the 4th. He's also walked. Here's the pitch. Inside. There have been postseason comebacks in this building before. Here's the pitch. Off the plate at 99, not close, despite, what the crowd says. 2 balls, 1 strike. 5-2 Toronto. The pitch. Swung on, fouled off at home plate. 98 over the corner. Good pitch. So JP in a tough spot. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the game you're referring to, the Mariners were down 8-1 in the second game of the wild card series here 3 years ago and came back to win 10-9.
So let's say 5-0 deficit. Here's the pitch. Down low. It's gone full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Dom is on deck. Mariners just looking for more traffic. Gino at first base. He goes. The pitch. Swung on and missed. JP goes down on a changeup. And that ends the inning. The Mariners get 2, so they cut into the lead. Still some work to do, though. It's 5-2 Blue Jays on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
It's the World Fighting.
Great moments in baseball.
Rivas ranging over. Now JP steps in front. One-hand catch. One pitch, one away here in the 6th inning. Here's Jimenez. He's 0 for 2. Blue Jays have hit a couple of big home runs in this one. Barger a 2-run home run. Vlad a solo home run. Just not Logan's night. Here comes the pitch. That's a strike at the knees. Gets ahead with the slider. 0-1. Mariners trailing by 3. Mariners win. They go to the World Series. Blue Jays win. There's a Game 7 tomorrow. The pitch. Swung on, fouled away. Brash warming. Vargas is up as well for the Mariners. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Just blew it by him. Heat upstairs. Jimenez swings through, and quickly there's 2 away. Here's Springer. Oh for 2 with the walk so far. Bizardo bent at the waist, now straightens up. Here's the pitch. Swung on, fouled away. That's into the seats, down the first baseline. So Bizardo gets ahead.
Gary George is still in a whole lot of pain. He tried to jump off his right leg on that follow-through, so he's still hurting.
They've been wrapping his knee every time after his at-bats. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a ground ball chopper right to third base. Backing up Gino, has it with 2 hands. Fires to first in plenty of time. It's a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 6th. Great job by Bizardo. Hangs another 0. We head to the 7th. Mariners trailing by 3. It's 5-2 on the Global Credit Union.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 19...
12 pitches after giving up an RBI single to Gino and then getting the strikeout to JP. Here's the pitch to Dom. And that bounces in, goes all the way to the backstop. Ball one. Barlin can be tough, not only with the big heat, but he mixes it up. Here's the pitch. Inside. 99 on the fastball, but too far in. Mostly four-seam and curve. Here's the 2-0. Swung on. Lifted center field, playable. On the back pedal, Jimenez. He's right there to make the catch. There's one away here in the seventh. That RBI single we mentioned by Gino. A postseason moment brought to you by Key Bank. Key Bank opens doors, provided the second run for the Mariners. Here's Rivas. He has struck out. He has singled. He singled off the wall. Here's the pitch. Upstairs. It was a ball that Barger went back on, made a leap, couldn't make the catch. And because it was Barger, JP was really in between. Stayed at second base, so Rivas had a single. Here's the pitch. That's a strike over the corner, 98. Count even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Seventh inning, Mariners down by 3. Barland rocks, he deals. Outside. Tried a curveball, missed his spot. Mariners wearing their Northwest green tops, gray pants. Blue Jays their home whites, back to the white panel hats. The 2-1. Swung on, cracked back to the screen. That was 98 down the middle. Count even.
What I like about Leo, he chokes up on the bat handle, takes a nice, quick little short swing so he can get that barrel to 98, 99.
Looking to get a board for Julio, then Cal. Top of the seventh, 1 out. Mariners down by 3, game 6. Mariners and Blue Jays. Into the wind, here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. 98. Got him looking. Second strikeout for Barland, and there's 2 away for the top of the order. Let's pause for station identification on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
This is Mariners Baseball on Seattle's.
First pitch misses below the zone on a curveball, so Julio ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Barland in the motion, he deals. Swung on, that is cracked. Left field, racing over Lucas. He's right there on the track to make the catch. And that's it for the Mariners in the seventh. They go 1, 2, 3. We head to the bottom of the inning. Blue Jays still leading 5-2.
Let's see if
7 games in the postseason, 8 innings, just 1 earned run allowed. The pitch. And misses high, 97. A fastball offered by Brash. Blue Jays got 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth. The pitch. Swung on, line drive on a couple hops, right to second base on the backhand. Rivas has it, flips it to first to get the out. 1 away. And here's Guerrero. He chased Gilbert a solo home run to lead off the 5th inning. That homer's looming large, too. 5-2 feels very different than 4-2. Also grounded out sharply. I say sharply. 116 off the bat in the 2nd inning. Gino made a nice play. The pitch. Strike. Challenged him with a fastball. Guerrero having a marvelous postseason. It's been nearly unstoppable. The 0-1. Inside, that hits him. You can hear the yelp from Guerrero. Home crowd doesn't like that. They got him right on the elbow guard. That brings up Kirk. So, runner at first base, 1 out. Kirk was robbed by Gino in the 3rd inning. Also lined out sharply last time. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Gets ahead with a slider. So, Blue Jays have consistently hit the ball hard in this one. Hoffman, the Blue Jays closer this year, warming. Here's the pitch. Swung on, line drive, base hit, center field. Now move Guerrero into second base, and the Blue Jays threatening again. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Here comes Varsho. Varsho 1 for 3 in the game. It's a critical start to the 2nd inning. Mariners a couple of errors to start the 2nd inning that really opened the door for the Blue Jays. Varsho singled, an error on Julio to get him a second, and then just a ground ball right after that to Gino. They just dropped it. Now a meeting at the mound. Cal in on the conversation.
Yeah, that was so surprising to start defensively after they played so well on Friday night, making 4 outstanding plays in that game for the come from behind win, 6-2 at home.
Well, the truth is, against the Blue Jays, you just can't give them.
No.
You can't give them opportunities. You can't give them free outs. You can't give them chances, more runners aboard. They do enough damage on their own as a team without those opportunities.
Seems like every line drive is in the gap or down the line with these guys.
Vargas up in the pen for the Mariners, bottom of the 7th. Mariners, they have to keep this game exactly where it is. It's already a 3-run deficit in the 7th. They do not want to see a balloon. Rash. Set from the belt. Here's the pitch. They buckled Varsho with a strike, a slider over the edge. No balls a strike. Brash. Ready? He deals. Swung on and missed. It gets away from Cal. Guerrero trying to get to third. The throw. It gets by Gino. It goes down the line. Guerrero picks himself up. He's going to score, and the Blue Jays add another run. It's 6-2 Toronto. That's a 3rd error on the Mariners tonight. Kirk goes into second.
Wild pitch, and they aired.
A lot of mistakes tonight for the Mariners. 6-2 now. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. I got the strikeout. Now there's 2 away. The damage already done with 1 in. So you think about the margin for error in this game. The Mariners with 3 errors. On the other side, they've hit into 3 double plays, 2 of them with the bases loaded, 1 out. Clement batting. He's been a problem. The pitch off the plate. Clement a triple in the 3rd and a double last time. 6-2 Blue Jays, 7th inning. Brash deals. Not close. Brash picks up the rosin bag. Climbs back onto the hill, wearing navy sleeves under the Northwest green top. The 2-0. Not close. 3 balls, no strikes. Blue Jays up 4. Brash ready, deals. And it was over the plate, but not call a strike, so it's going to be ball 4. So Clement will take first base. Now runners at first and second. Here comes Pete Woodworth.
That was set up outside, and that was on the inside corner, but a lot of times you don't get that call when you have to go all the way across the plate to go get that pitch. But it was a strike.
So runners at first and second now, 2 outs, 1 in. Blue Jays up 6-2. So the meeting broken up. Is Brash ready to get back to work? Trying to get the final out. Here's Barger. Barger's had a huge night. RBI single in the 2nd. A 2-run home run in the 3rd. Here's the pitch to him. In the dirt, tackled by Cal Raleigh. Continues the trend of the bottom of the order, doing a lot of damage in this series.
How many pitches has Cal blocked this postseason? My goodness.
So many.
So busy.
Here's the 1-0. Way outside. A changeup that misses. (6-2) Blue Jays. They have 2 aboard. 2 balls, no strikes. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. There it is. Finds the zone with a slider, so 2-1. Brash comes set. Here's the pitch. This is just a bit low on a changeup. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here comes the 3-1. Swung on and missed. That was a big cut. The slider, good one. Right at the bottom of the zone. Barger had 21 home runs in the regular season, over 30 doubles. Big part of things for this Blue Jays offense. One of the best offenses in the game in the regular season. They've been even better in the postseason, especially with their power. Here comes the pitch from Brash. Inside ball 4. They are loaded. Vargas is ready. No movement from the Mariners dugout. Kind of Falefa, the batter. We're going to have a pinch runner at first base. I'm sure it's going to be Straw. He's been a defensive replacement late in games when the Blue Jays have had the lead, and it will be Straw pinch running. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. 4-run game. Blue Jays threatening to break it open. Kind of Falefa, the batter. He's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Off the plate. No chase on the slider. One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swung on, lifted, right field towards the line. Can zone over. He's near the line, has space. He makes the catch. And that's it for the Blue Jays in the 7th. But they push one more across. So the Mariners, a lot of work to do as we go to the 8th, trailing by 4 on the Global Credit Union Mariners Radio Network.
Around here, it's all or nothing.
We're in the top half of the 8th. 6-2 Blue Jays. Jays have out hit the Mariners 9-7. Hoffman ready, big right-hander. The pitch on the way to Cal, and it's going to be inside for ball 1. And right now, if you're the Mariners, I mean, you go pitch to pitch. You look to get on base any way you can. Leave it up to the next guy. Here's the stretch. Next offer to Cal, and it's over for a strike, and the count is even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Hoffman during the regular season, 71 appearances, 9-7 record with a 4.37 ERA. Now the stretch and the 1-1 pitch to Cal, swinging a foul back, and the count is now 1-2. Cal 2 for 4 on Friday night with a huge home run that tied the game in the bottom of the 8th inning at 2-2. And a couple of walks, a hit batter, and Gino with a heroic grand slam home run as the Mariners won that game 6-2. Mariners lead this best-of-7 series 3-2. Now the look in by Hoffman, delivers. Swinging a foul back out of play, off to our left, almost gets into the booth. And the count is still 1-2 on Cal Raleigh. But Looking back on that game Friday night, that was one of the greatest games played in this franchise history. Well, they came back 3 years ago in this house. Pitch on the way, swing and a miss and a fastball, strike 3. And the Mariners have one away here in the top half of the 8th inning. That'll bring up designated hitter Jorge Polanco. Well, the Blue Jays, they need a win to stay alive. The Mariners need a win to move on to the World Series against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Right now, the Blue Jays lead by 4. They have 6 runs, 9 hits. Mariners 2 runs on 7. Polanco looking for his first hit. Here's the pitch on the way from Hoffman, and it's low and inside for ball 1. Mariners' last 4 games here during the postseason, they are 4-0. They've got to get something going in a hurry right now. The pitch. Way inside as Polanco gets out of the way from ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Mariners won the opening 2 games of the series here in Toronto. Way off the line at third base is Ernie Clement. Here's the pitch. Strike at the knees, and the count is now 2-1. Both sides have their share of injuries. Blue Jays playing without their talented shortstop, Bo Bichette, but in the meantime, Jimenez has done a great job at short. With Clement going over to third. Here's the next offer on the way. Swinging a foul off the catcher, Kirk. And now the count is even on Polanco at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jorge has flied out twice to Barger in right field. Barger out of the ball game. You now got Lucas in right, and Straw is in left field. Straw came in a pinch run for Barger in the bottom of the 7th inning. We're in the top half of the 8th. 6-2 Blue Jays. The look in, and the 2-2, and a swing and a miss by Polanco, making a foul ball. He just got a piece of it, fouled it off. Alejandro Kirk, the catcher. The count is still even on Polanco at 2 balls and 2 strikes. But the Mariners came in here, won the first game 3-1 behind the pitching of Bryce Miller, who was absolutely outstanding, going on just 3 days rest, and he went 6 innings, gave up 1 run and just 4 hits. And then the Mariners won again the next night by a score of 10-3, got off to a great start in this best-of-7 series. Then the Blue Jays ended up winning 2 out of 3 in Seattle to get it back to Toronto. 1 out, nobody on. Here's the 2-2 to Polanco. Swing, little tapper to the right side of home plate, a foul ball as Kirk was trying to get to it in fair territory like Cal Raleigh did last night on a squibbler in front of the plate. And he turned it into a 2-3 double play. That was with the bases loaded. I was talking with Bryce Miller before the ball game this afternoon. I said, what did you see? He said Cal was just outstanding to make sure that ball didn't go foul. It was tapped right in front of the plate. He was able to cup the ball right at the edge of the plate, step on the plate for 1, and throw out Clement at first base for the double play to get Bryce out of the inning. Now the stretch, and again the 2-2, swinging a foul out of play on the third base side, and the count is still even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you haven't heard, the last time that happened in postseason play was in 2000 when Dan Wilson did that. Danny in a playoff game against the New York Yankees, and it was a 2-3 double play, Dan Wilson to John Olerud. The look in by Hoffman, and the right-hander delivers. Check swing, does he go? Yes, he does. And a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. So Hoffman with back-to-back strikeouts here in the top half of the 8th inning. And now the Mariners really running out of outs. Only 4 left. That'll bring up Josh Naylor, who's had a good night. 2 for 3 with a single to left center in the 4th, and a home run to right field with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning, giving the Mariners their first of 2 runs. 6-2 Blue Jays. Hoffman works from the third base side of the rubber. Looks in from the belt, and the pitch on the way to Naylor. Swing and a foul behind the plate. And the count is 0-2. Hoffman in his last 7 games during the regular season had a 1.35 ERA. The stretch. And the 0-1 to Naylor, swinging a pop-up, shallow left field down the line, racing over his Straw. He is there, and he makes the catch And that's going to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left out. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Our Mechanics Bank score here in Toronto. It's the Blue Jays 6 and the Mariners 2. Blue Jays, the last time they went to the World Series was a while ago, back in 1993. That's when they beat the Phillies. Here's the pitch, swung on, fouled away into the glove of Cal Raleigh, and the count is even on Jimenez, a 1-1 strike. That's when the Blue Jays had back-to-back World Series titles in 92 against Atlanta and 93 against the Phillies. Joe Carter won it with a walk-off home run. Here's a swing and a pop-up. Shallow left center field. Over is Randy Arozarena. He is there, waits for it to come down, and he makes the catch. 1 out for the Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Blue Jays during that rain, they were obviously one of the best teams in all of baseball. Winning back-to-back World Series was John Olerud. He grew up in Bellevue, went to Interlake High School, started Washington State as a pitcher and a first baseman, and then had an outstanding career in the big leagues, coming up with Toronto. George Springer, the hitter, pitch way up and in as Springer hits the deck. Fans getting all over Vargas. On Friday night, George was hit by a fastball from Brash off his right knee that got him out of the ball game. He's still bothered by that sore right knee. He could barely run, but he's in the lineup tonight, 0 for 3. With every swing of the bat, you can see Springer grimace. That pitch just buzzed the old light tower high and inside, and George was able to get out of the way. The stretch by Vargas, and the right-hander's 1-0 pitch. Strike on the inside corner, and Springer was getting out of the way, but caught the inside edge. 1 ball and 1 strike. And we go to the top half of the ninth inning. Rosarena, Suarez, Crawford, and hopefully a bunch more. The pitch swung on, popped up out of play in the first base side. Naylor over to take a look, and this one is back into the crowd, a sellout crowd here at Rogers Center. 1-2 the count on Springer. 3 home runs during the postseason. Springer back up there. Had some great years with the Houston Astros. The look in by Vargas. And the right-hander's 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Springer. A painful cut, strike 3, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, he's clearly still feeling that knee. The ball that he fouled off over towards Naylor, he dropped to his back knee again. Grimacing even more on that swing and a miss.
Yeah, he's having a rough time. He's trying to hang in there. That'll bring up Nathan Lucas now. The right fielder started the night in left field. Lucas is 1 for 4. The pitch to him, swing and a miss. Had a good fastball at 100 miles an hour. No balls and a strike. The look in and the pitch. Swinging a ground ball left side. JP way to his right to backhand. All balance short of first on a hop, and it's not in time. JP had a long way to go into the hole. It's short. He was shaded up the middle toward the bag at second. Lucas can run, and he's safe at first base with an infield base hit. That was a tough play for Crawford. Able to get there, but had a rough time trying to get something on a throw to first with all of his momentum heading toward that left field line. Great effort by JP. Here's Vladimir Guerrero. Hit by pitch, scored a run in the 7th. Hit a laser home run to left field in the 5th inning. Pitch on the way, swinging a foul out of play in the first base side, and it's 0-1. Guerrero now with 6 home runs during the postseason and 3 in this ALCS against Seattle. He had 23 on the year. Here's the stretch and the 0-1 to Guerrero. Swinging a soft broken bat. Base hit into left field, dropping in front of Randy Rosarena. So a broken bat single for Guerrero. He's on at first. That'll get Lucas down to second. And my goodness, the Blue Jays have had base runners all over the place in tonight's Game 6. Now Vargas, after he retired the first 2 batters, looking to get that final out with Kirk. Was struck out. Gino made a great play to retire Kirk back in the 3rd. He's lined out to right and lined single sharply into center field his last time up in the 7th inning. 6-2 Blue Jays, bottom of the 8th, 2 on, 2 outs. The look in by Vargas, fires away. Swing and a foul back by Kirk, and the count is 0-1. Carlos working up the lather. Roof has been closed all day. We had rain earlier today here in downtown Toronto. It was nice this morning until the rains hit. Here's the stretch. And the 0-1 on the way to Kirk. Swinging a pop-up into shallow right field. Coming in, can zone. Dom is there, and he makes the catch, and that's going to retire the side. 2 left on for the Blue Jays. We go to the top of the 9th inning. Last try for the Mariners. Our Mechanics Bank score. It's the Blue Jays 6 and the Mariners 2.
Let's
Single down the right field line by Gino. Here's the stretch of the pitch to Randy. Check swing, it's a strike, and the count is 0-1. And for the Blue Jays and 47,000 fans here tonight, they win. We go to Game 7 tomorrow night here at Rogers Center. Here's the stretch and the next pitch. Fastball is high for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Shane Bieber will get the start for the Blue Jays. Hasn't been announced, but George Kirby more than likely would be the starter for the Mariners in Game 7, unless the Mariners get a huge comeback. The pitch on the way, swing and a miss by Arozarena. And a breaking ball, and the count is now 1-2. Trey Savage, the starter, the kid, just 22 years of age, went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 2 runs. He was mighty tough. Next offer on the way to Randy. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And the Mariners have 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. That's the 3rd strikeout for Jeff Hoffman in relief. He's faced only 4 batters. He has 3 strikeouts. And that'll bring up Gino. Suarez 1 for 2 with that soft RBI single with 2 outs in the 6th inning that scored Randy. A look in by Hoffman. And the big right-hander's pitch. Swing and a miss and a slider, and the count is 0-1. On deck is J.P. Crawford. Mariners had a lot of traffic in the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. There's the pitch on the way, and it's low and outside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. But the Mariners just couldn't come up with that clutch base hit. 3 consecutive innings, the Blue Jays turned to double play. Turn aside the Mariners. Here's the pitch. Gino takes low and outside in the dirt. Gets on by Kirk, the catcher. Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. And just a base hit here or there during that stretch, it would be a much different tally on that scoreboard. But right now, 6-2 Blue Jays. So Hoffman has 1 out here in the 9th inning, and a right-hander's getting loose in the bullpen for Toronto. Here's the pitch on the way to Gino. Big swing and a miss. And the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Hoffman right now staying with that slider here in the 9th. Toronto 6 runs, 11 base hits. Couple of home runs. Mariners 2 runs on 7. Hoffman ready, the stretch, and the 2-2 to Gino. Swinging a foul off the catcher, Kirk. And the count is still even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Sir Anthony Dominguez warming for the Blue Jays. You'd love to see the Mariners really put some pitches on Hoffman, having to work multiple innings here. Could be a factor in tomorrow night's game, but he's looked very good so far.
No doubt about it. Make him work, get some runners aboard, create some traffic. Here's the stretch, and again the 2-2 to Gino, and it's down low for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Make him work. Hoffman plants that back foot in front of the rubber. Hoffman looks in, has a sign from Kirk, and the next offer on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the Mariners are down to their final out here in the top half of the 9th inning. Hoffman has fanned 4 of the 5 batters he has faced, and that'll leave it up to J.P. Crawford. And now the Blue Jays 1 out away from evening up this best of 7 series at 3-3. J.P. aboard with a walk back in the 3rd. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Here's the stretch. And the pitch on the way to Crawford. It's inside for ball 1. Outfield for the Blue Jays straight away. As Hoffman stares down from the stretch. And the 1-0 pitch to Crawford up high for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. The Mariners had opportunities, and they just could not cash in with a clutch base hit. It's going to be a heck of a matchup tomorrow night. Kirby against Bieber in Game 7. Unless the Mariners can find a minor miracle here in the top half of the 9th inning. Make it a big miracle. Down to their final out. Way up the line at 3rd, Clement. Here's the stretch. And the 2-0 pitch to Crawford. Swing and a miss, and the count is now 2-1. Mariners have won 3-1, 10-3, and 6-2. Blue Jays have won 13-4, 8-2, and they lead this one 6-2, the stretch, and the 2-1 to Crawford. Way outside, ball 3. 3-1 with Dom Canzone due up next. For the Mariners, their 4th American League Championship Series. They've never gotten this deep. Here's the pitch on the way to JP, and it's up high for ball 4. So Crawford with a 2-out walk, and the Mariners have a base runner here in the top half of the 9th inning. Great at bat by Crawford to get Canzone up there with 2 down. And now time is called as Kirk goes out to the mound. Have a talk with Hoffman. Kirk gives him a pat on the back, and now the other infielders check in with Hoffman. He had retired 5 in a row until the walk right there to JP. So now if you're Dom Canzone, you're just trying to get on board any way you can. The walk is as good as an old base hit. Canzone 1 for 3. He singled back in the 5th inning. A ground ball up the middle off starting pitcher Trey Yasevich. And that kid was tough tonight. Just 22 years of age. Started the season at Class A Dunedin. Spent most of the year in the minor leagues. And they gave him the ball here in Game 6. So Canzone back up there. Here's the stretch by Hoffman. He delivers. Swing and a pop-up out of play in the first base side. Kirk over to take a look, but it's back up into the crowd. And the count is 0-1. Played all night long with the roof closed. Rain earlier today here in Toronto. The Dodgers are in the World Series as they swept aside the Brewers in 4 straight. So they wait for the outcome of this series. JP goes, pitch on the way, and it's high and outside for ball 1. 1-1 strike. Crawford taken off with Guerrero playing way behind him. So the Mariners have JP on at second. And the count is even on Canzone, and 1 strike. JP can waltz into third base if he wants to. Third baseman Clement way off the line. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Canzone swinging a foul at the plate, and now the Mariners are down to their final strike. 1-2 the count on Canzone. Hoffman with a new baseball from the home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn. Tom trying to keep the Mariners' hopes alive, trying to get on board. With 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning, 6-2 Toronto. Here's the set by Hoffman to look back at Crawford. And the 1-2 on the way to Canzone. Swing, a little pop-up. Left side of the infield. Clement is there. He makes the catch. The ball game is over, and we are going to go to a Game 7 of the American League Championship Series here in Toronto. The Blue Jays needed a win to stay alive. The Mariners needed a win to get to the World Series. The Mariners will be looking for that victory tomorrow night in Game 7 to take you to where we've never been before. More than likely, George Kirby tomorrow night. It's going to be Shane Bieber. We know that for the Blue Jays in what will be definitely a deciding Game 7 to this American League Championship Series. The Blue Jays win Game 6 tonight, a final score of 6-2. This best of 7 is all tied at 3 wins apiece. Final score, the Blue Jays 6 and the Mariners 2. We'll be back with the totals and a whole lot more after these messages.
October baseball is